Hey everyone, HotSauceZee back again today to talk about spot flares in Battlefield 5. Ever since update 5.0 and all of the buffs to spot flares, it seems that more often than not, you're spotted for the enemy team. For those that are unaware, in update 5.0 the flares were buffed so that their radius was much larger and they last much longer on top of that. That all sounds fine and good, but I believe they are beginning to affect gameplay in a negative way. Flares are oftentimes a deciding factor in the outcome of any given round. The team with even just 1 to 2 dedicated flare-spewing recons can completely shut down an attack or crumble a defense. Go ahead and take a look for yourself the next time you're playing Breakthrough. If you find that you simply cannot capture or defend a sector against an otherwise even team, then look up in the air. There's probably little glowing parachutes everywhere. Now some might say, HotSauceZee, you're just complaining. That's what any good team would do. If you want to counter it, shoot flares for yourself. And if you were to say that, you would be correct. I am complaining, but it's not so much because of the tactic, but because DICE has gone and made it one of the most effective tactics for the recon class. The amount of points that any single player can accrue just from selecting flares as their gadget and camping a resupply is a little insane. I mean, I play recon myself from time to time, and flares are a go-to, perhaps making me a hypocrite, but it's simply too hard of an opportunity to pass up score-wise, as well as helping your team out immensely. We already had people bragging about running a large score up while going 0 for 0 simply because of flare spam, and that was before Update 5.0. That tactic is even more viable now. But why has DICE gone and made flares so powerful? What's the reasoning? Well, in my opinion, and this is just a guess, I think that DICE is regretting pulling the spot button from the game's controls, and this is the roundabout way to fix that without having to add the feature back in. It also gives them another weapon against the poor soldier visibility that we have experienced throughout this game's life. It's much easier to just put a red marker above every enemy, but give the power to do so to the players. Why do I think this is such a big problem? Well, like I said before, play a round of Breakthrough yourself and simply look up. Flares cover the sky and completely ruin really any chance you have of sneaking onto a point. It doesn't matter if you took the wide flank, the enemy can see you much further from the point now, thanks to the larger radius, and will be waiting when you arrive. Infantry is not the only issue though. With the introduction of the 20mm explosive rounds for aircraft, spot flares are making it very easy for planes to farm infantry. And this is Fliegerfaust aside. The good pilots can now evade Fliegerfaust, but are still being helped tremendously by all these flares. A final personal problem I have with the flares is that I'm just tired of shooting them down. They're difficult to hit and tend to leave you wide open to enemy attack as you make a lot of noise to do so. So what can DICE do to maybe rebalance flares? Well, for starters, I've already mentioned in my From the Front video last Friday that shooting down flares will provide points come the next update. But I don't expect that to be much consolation because it will probably only give between 10 and 50 points, like it does for other gadget destruction. It's a step in the right direction, but I think that recons should only be allowed to have one flare in the air at any given time, instead of the 2 that it is now. This would help lessen the effect that 2 recons can completely blanket a point in spots, but would still allow them to carry 2 for when the first runs out. Additionally, I think that the flares could be made a little easier to shoot down. Perhaps 2 to 3 shots into the chute, or 1 direct hit to the flare can remove them from the sky. Decreasing the radius back down to somewhere between what it was and what it is now could also be helpful. So what are you guys' thoughts? Would these changes be too much of an overcorrection? Do the flares even bother y'all? I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comment section below. This has been HotSauceZee, and I thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe as well to enjoy even more Battlefield content from yours truly. I'll see you guys on the next video or streaming over on Twitch. Goodbye.